I'm gonna start in a couple of minutes, like 2 more minutes. It is Shark Tank. I watch it all the time. All right, well, I'm going to get started. Thank you for everybody for hopping on. Appreciate that you guys actually, that you guys actually want to learn. It means a lot to me. So appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is, I know a couple of people in the group how to use the indicators. Sure, the only indicator I use is RSI, so I will explain RSI. No, rip. Move on. indicators. All right, RSI. All right. So, what is RSI? RSI is called the Relative Strength Index, which basically shows strength of where the market is or where the market is headed, and typically how big banks, you can kind of see where big banks are going or where they're trading. So, for example, last night, you guys saw GBP USD jump all the way up. I knew this was going to happen because if you look here, it may not look like much to you guys, but can you see that that was going up? So can someone, whoever's talking, mute their, whoever's phone's going off, mute the thing. As you can see, price, when you saw this slant up, price was still flat, and you saw it shoot up. So one of the reasons, if you're in our signals group, I called a sell for GBP USD because it's doing the same thing it did last night. These are where the big banks are moving the money. So this price is flat, okay? Price is flat, but yet RSI is moving down, meaning that big banks are selling, meaning that big banks are moving the money. Where, let's see another example of it. All right, example right here. This may not look much to you, but once again, slant down, price is flat, look what's happened, drops, okay? So that is how I use divergence, is I look, you will not always see divergence, but oftentimes when something reaches a peak like it has here, and you start to see some type of divergence down, that's a pretty strong tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and how I would mark this up. All right, we want to capture the big moves. So I'm going to start by placing my floor and my ceiling. Okay. The reason this one is my ceiling instead of, I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could put one right here as well. But the reason why I put this as my ceiling is because you see price came up, hit it once, twice, and now it's hit it multiple times over here. So it keeps rejecting, okay? Price keeps getting rejected at this top. And now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for movement down, okay? So I'm looking for moving down because when I have RSI, I had it moving down. They're selling, and you can see the slant a little bit better if you zoom out. You can see better how it's going down. Price is still flat. And then what I typically do is I will draw out my little zone. See? Now, I could also do one up here. But that is how I use RSI, which is an indicator that somebody asked about. And then let me think. The next thing that someone wanted me to talk about here, I'm going to mark up markup USD JPY. One sec. Someone wanted me to talk about oh, hold on, I'm trying to find it. One sec. All right. News trading was one of them. Stop losses, price reversals, Fibonacci, entry and exit. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop some Fibonacci retracement for you guys. All right. So Fibonacci retracement for entries and exits. How I draw fibs. I believe I have a video. If I don't, pay attention. So I do fibs for entries and exits. So I trade Fibonacci retracement. Very, very important tool that you can also get more research about. But I use it for entries and exits. So what I will do is, let's say this is a new day right here. I will draw it from high to low from the day before if the market's moved down, or low to high if the market has moved down and it's trended up for that day. So if here it's trended down this day, so I drew it from high to low. And as you can see, price came up. 261 is a very key level. Rejected, broke down, tested 127, and that would have been your entry right there at the 127 key level. And it's shot up ever since. And let's see where it's at right now. So we are in a new day. Obviously, it's trended up. So I'm going to draw mine right there. And what I'm either going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for price to either come up, test the negative 27, which is a key level, and drop down. And it may continue up again, or it may drop. 61.8 is a very key level as well. So I would look for a break and a retest of that, along with my other support and resistance lines. Okay, and let's look on the daily time frame. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to draw a daily time. So what I do is normally I will go from the daily time frame and move my way down. Time frame, such as like I said, I'll start at the daily and then I'll just move down, that way I can get an idea of where price is going. But right here, those things will stop popping up. Place some support and resistance. And anytime price reverses, I always like to think that is a somewhat of a support, or somewhat of previous support, because as you can see, it was in a strong downtrend and then it reversed. So I'm assuming that this was probably a key Fibonacci level probably like a -27 or a 61.8 or something like that. So what I'd be looking for UJ is I'm either looking for right now, I'm either looking for price to be rejected. You know what, here, let me put there. And remember, this is on the daily time frame too, so it might not look like huge moves right now, but it is, like I said, it's a daily time frame, so it is a big level. Or these are major areas of the market. So right now, like I said, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to either come up, and it's at a very interesting level right now, because let's say it breaks it, it's going to test this trend line, daily trend line, and it might continue down and come up and come down and come up, come down, and just keep dropping. Or what might happen is it might break above, it might break above, it might test this opposite trend line as a newfound floor, and mind you, like I said, this is a daily time frame, so this could be a couple of days, a couple of weeks. You could be in a uptrend again. It all varies on what price wants to do. That's why we just watch, and that's why we wait for, for those confirmations that we have. So what's funny is, as you can see, price is being rejected by this zone that I have right here. And this is a 4-hour time frame. So what I might be looking for now is I might be looking for a drop down to this next support and to bounce back up, or I might be looking for a drop, might be looking for a retest, and a continued drop. It's just one of those things that you have to wait for. So me, I'm a little bit riskier of a trader. So I may enter in a sell, put my stop loss all the way up here to capture all of this move, because this would be a big drop. Or risk 30 pips, to catch like 60 to 70. And someone asked about stop losses in the group. So typically my stop losses above wicks or above key levels. What does that mean? So right here, let's say you guys can see this wick right here. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's go back to where that was. All right, so perfect example. We'll do right here. All right, so let's say I was in a sell. Let's say I saw this come up. I saw some wicks, just like it worked over here, and I wanted to sell it. Where would I put my stop loss? What I have is a zone, a daily zone, and I see a long wick. So I'm putting my stop loss right there. Or if I want to have a tighter stop loss, I might put it right there. That way it's above the wick, because I've seen a lot of times where people might sell a pair and it will it will tap their stop loss with a long wick like this, or like this right here. You see how it still acted as a support? You could have your stop loss right here where it's still on these wicks and stuff, and your stop loss got hit for a buy, and it wicked, and then it continued up. So that's why I always have my stop loss below any type of wicks. That's where risk to reward comes in, and you have to realize if I'm, if I want to sell USD JPY for 60 pips, I'm going to have a little bit higher of a stop loss because it's a bigger move. So there might be crazy wicks to try to take out my trade, so I'm not profiting, and basically the broker is taking my money. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to everybody. Let's go back to where price is currently at. So, all right. So I like that this wick is right here. Let me delete this real quick. I like that I have this wick above this zone, or in this zone, because this shows that price is being rejected at this zone. So what I'm looking for tonight is this to come down, test this area of support, and as this happens, I'm keeping an eye on it. It's where patience comes in. And if I see it break it, I'm waiting for a retest, and then I'm holding my position for the drop. If it comes down, I start to see some bullish candles. For me personally, I'm going to take out my trade with guaranteed profits, or you can put your stop loss in profit, meaning you're guaranteed profits and it takes away the greed effect. But that's just me personally. I know everybody is different, but that's where I'm at with it. I will mark up Euro USD next. Everything goes along with technicals. Everything goes along with technicals. Like this, for example. This is a perfect example of a retest and where you could have bought it. You see that this price acted as a zone. Price acted as a zone. It broke through. It retested the zone perfectly. Like I can't make that up. Like it retested the zone absolutely perfectly, and it shot up. How do you determine the zones? So I determine the zones based off of the wicks. So you can see that you see all these wicks right here, right? You see all these wicks, where you draw them above or below the bodies. So if I wanted to, I see a zone right here because the wicks show where price was once rejected. So like this down here. I actually had a sell in right here, and I made it, or no, it was right here. I had a sell in right here, and I made about, I think it was 150, 160 bucks in a couple of hours. But because I saw that price had rejected the zone, it broke the support. It came up, it tested as resistance, and down right here was my take profit. And actually, everybody in our signals chat too profited off it. Caught like 30-something pips, I believe, 35, 40 pips. But it was a good trade. So right now, actually, what I could be looking for is a test of this area right here and a drop. Because we see multiple times price has tested this area. It broke it, tested the next area, came down. So I'm definitely looking for some downside movement if it comes up and tests this, or I see a zone right here because of a wick, and price is being rejected right now at that zone. So we could potentially be looking for a sell, you know, in the next couple of hours. I do, you know, want to see a bearish candle form, a red candle down form. But that, you know, that's me. I'm more of a patient person. I like to wait for those setups, and I like to see those setups happen. But once again, everyone is completely different. So it's really just up to you. But that is all that I have for you guys for the night. Once again, it comes down to patience and waiting for the retests. And as for RSI, I hope I explained that good enough for you guys. RSI is simply, RSI is relative strength index. It shows where big banks are buying and selling at. So that's why I like it. I don't know what this is. I'm about to delete this. Delete. Delete. Go back around. And so how to use RSI is I see that price is going down, or RSI is going down. I guess you guys can see it a lot better there. Well, price is going down. Okay. As price is flat right here, it shows it's going down. So that's what I like, because last night did the same thing. Showed it was going up, price was flat, and it shot up. Price going down, price is flat. So that's why I would like to see that drop tonight, which is why I called the signal that I did in our signals chat. The sell is still valid. I know it's kind of in some drawdown a little right now. I sent it maybe a little too early, but I definitely still do believe that it is going down. It's respecting this zone right here. Let me see what I set for our stop loss. Our stop loss is stop loss is 28613. 28613. So all the way up here, because it would have to get through all of these wicks. It would have to get through this zone. It would take a lot to hit our stop loss. And in the grand scheme of things, risking 30 pips or so to catch about 70 pips. So our risk to reward is very good. I always like to make sure I keep that good for you guys. But that is all I have for tonight. So I hope you guys have a great night. And then I will be up for London session at 2 a.m. So message the group with any questions. And this was recorded, so I will send this in the group for you guys. And I hope everybody has a great night. All right. Talk to you guys soon. And hope everybody profits tonight.